Exactly that. Tal Shalev staying with us. And Dr. Sara Fainberg of the INSS, I want to ask you exactly what Tal Shalev said about the timing of this. Let's start with the S300, but then move into the, what seems to be played out constantly in the media, and that's prime ministers and presidents talking to each other through us. But this deal right now, the timing of it, first of all, does it endanger Israel or any country who would in the future try to bomb Iran, so to speak, which is what Putin is trying to do, is it? Or isn't it?
Absolutely. The selling of the famous S300 would considerably hinder Israel's capacity or Saudi Arabia's capacity to conduct a preventive strike against Iran. And it was actually done in order to protect Iran's nuclear power plants, including the Russian-made Bushehr power plant located in Iran. So this is the goal, this is the open goal of this deal. This being said, the timing of this is quite interesting and is quite tricky. It was done and it was prepared in advance. Actually, the deal was signed a long time ago. In January, the defense minister of Russia visited Iran. They probably discussed this issue. It was prepared at a millimeter, including Israel's reaction we're taking into account into this deal. So it's a very carefully prepared deal. It is tricky in the sense that the fact that it was published a few days after the Lausanne Agreement, but a month and a half before, or 2 months before the final agreement scheduled on June 30th, at the same time, it does sabotage, in a way, the concluding final agreement. In a way, Russia is putting pressure on the Congress, on President Obama, and it allows the senators and congressmen in Washington to say, look what is happening. At the moment, you signed a deal, and now, Iran can prevent any strike coming from Saudi Arabia or from Israel.
That's a fascinating, almost House of Cards-like move.
So, in a way, it's difficult for Israel to deal with this issue. Right. On the one side, it does prevent its ability, or it harms. It doesn't
but it does give Israel an argument.
But it gives Israel an argument, and it can ultimately sabotage the negotiations until June the 30th.
Very interesting. Tell us, as we have to finish up, what is Putin trying to do? If you say that all of this was also calculated to the end, what is his attempt?
So basically, there are many economic reasons that were put forth, because Russia would lose a lot of money if Iran, when Iran will re-enter the oil market. So he wants to keep some influence on Iran, but ultimately what Russia wants is to redesign the Middle East and put Iran at the center of a new order, a Shiite axis, Iran, Syria, Hezbollah, and wants to re-establish this axis in order to end the chaos, the terrorist chaos that is backed by Saudi Arabia.